Alright. What up, guys? I'm back. Alright. I feel okay now. Before, I felt like I was dying, dude. Constipation is no joke. So last time we left off, he found Kamome. Well, Kamome and him went on an adventure in the caves. She suddenly disappeared, but before she disappeared, her last words were, "Find my suitcase and you find a real me." So Hairi gathered up the homies. They went back to the cave. He got Kamome's suitcase. He brought it back home. He opened it. The first thing he found was Kamome underwear. And then Umi-chan found him holding up, I guess, ladies' underwear. And then he told her, "This is the real me." Excuse me. Umi thought he's a cross-dresser. And she left him alone. And then that's when he found his book. Excuse me. Underneath the underwear. I know this story. I read it once a long time ago. My old elementary school had it in the library. We were supposed to read 10 books for our summer homework. And this had been one of mine. It was about this girl who gathered a group of friends to go on an adventure, I think. Oh my god! Remember we were talking about first crush in the route? And then he said that his first crush was someone. And then he brought up a story, a fictional character. You think Kamome's a fictional character? And I need to reread it to remember the rest. It had been years since my first read, and I barely remembered the details. But with every page I turned, the more I felt the strange sense of nostalgia. I found the words, but not the images that conjured. There was a girl named Kamome who joined the summer camp. She never fit in with the other kids and was always alone. But then one day, she snuck into her father's study, where he studied archaeology and discovered a map. It was the treasure map that marked the location of a hidden pirate ship. The girl mustered her courage to talk to some of the other kids, and then they set off for an adventure together as the cat pawed Whiskerneers. It says, "I finished the book in just 10 minutes. There's no question." The kids walk into the forest. Sitting around a campfire. The adventure through the cave. Every one of those scenes were something from that book. A treasure map, a treacherous adventure, a pirate ship. They were all things that set any child's imagination wild. I was no exception. I still remember how the story made me feel when I first read it. I poured through it over and over that summer, wishing that I could have an adventure of my own just like theirs. No wonder Kamome's story sounded so familiar to me. No wonder it felt like I'd been on an adventure before. No wonder I was so caught up in the fantasy. It was all right here. It was because of this book. When I was a kid, I became one of the cat paws. I was there. I ventured with them. That's why I remember it. The memories that Kamome has spoken of were the one and the same with the contents of the story. In other words, they never really happened. But what does this all mean? Had I found a real Kamome or not? If I had, then was the real Kamome the protagonist of this book? Ridiculous. Yes, I technically found a Kamome inside the suitcase. The storybook Kamome. But that only left more questions than answers. I still had no idea where she was. Were there no clues? But none but this book. I read it cover to cover again. Then I remember her house. If I recall correctly, Kamome said she was staying somewhere outside the island. Storybook Kamome lived in an islet, separate from the main island. That was close enough to outside the island for me. And the girl named Kamome really exists, and so did the house in the islet. What's the islet? I recall Nomiki first thing in the morning. Do you know how anyone lives on any islet around here?
人が住んでいる小島？さあ、私は聞いたことがないが、少し待ってくれ。私有地の件と含めて調べてみよう。
Thanks. Nomiki shot me a call back before noon. She made a few discoveries.
高原がたどり着いたという入り江の近くに小島がある。近くといっても300メートル先だ。小さな島だし、近くを船が航行しているということもない。ただ、電気や水道といったライフラインは通っているようだな。その島は私有地なんだ。採石場を割いているところと同じ企業が所有している。金持ちが買っていったらしい。
Maybe someone lives there.
現在どうなのかはわからないけどな。
I need to go there.
私有地だから無断で立ち入るのはダメだ。と、今更言ってもしょうがないか。
Oh, Nomiki. I like her.
だったら俺の船を貸してやろう。
I like Ryochi too. They're all cool. They're all homies. The one I don't have a license to drive.
バイクに乗ってたじゃないか。
Right, that's not a boat.
船といってもジェットだから似たようなものだ。
That's a question.
まあちゃんと教えてやるから。コツさえつかめばすぐだよ。俺もガキの頃から勝手に操縦してあちこち行ってたからな。
まったく聞かなかったことにしよう。
What is so nice to him? I skipped over the ocean waves on Ryuchi's jet ski. Turns out it really wasn't much different than a motorbike. A quick lesson from Ryochi was all it took and I was off. I could already see my destination. Damn, new OST. The island was barely bigger than an elementary schoolyard. It wasn't exactly wooded per se, it was more a thicket than anything. But the trees and foliage everywhere didn't help my theory that someone lived here. Then I spotted a red roof through the greenery. It was a house. First a pirate ship, now this. Another adventure, huh? Funny how these things happen. I soon arrived. At first glance, the place looked, in a word, unkept. Plants, trees, and leaves drowned the hard land beyond the cramped beach. After some squinting, I noticed a trail. It was faint but visible enough to know that someone was still using it. I was likely to get to the building within. I entered the grove. I knew it. There, I found a house. Seated quietly, hidden among the trees. I made my way to the front door. And right then, someone turned a corner from around the back.
誰ですか?
She addressed me directly. It was a middle-aged woman. In her 30s or 40s, if I had to guess. For some strange reason, I felt like I'd seen her face before. We stood in silence. And went without saying that she was more of a little wary of me.
あなたは
My head went blank. Every word that came to mind felt like the wrong one to say.
それ
What?
そのスーツケースを届けに来てくれたんですか?
Huh?
違うんですか? それは私のものです。
Is that Kamome? And what does that mean? It couldn't be. I finally realized why her face looked so familiar. This woman was Kamome.
カモメ? あなたはカモメを知ってるんですか?
Well, my name is Takahara Hairi.
私はクシマサギと申します。
Kushima Sagi. Hey, what was Kamome's last name? Was it Kushima? Oh, Kushima Kamome. Oh. Oh. Hey. Oh, damn it. She got a ring on her finger. Wait a minute. Isn't that over? Wait. We still have a chance. Kushima Sagi?
カモメは私の娘です。
Oh. But there's still a chance. The ring on her finger. I don't see anybody else around. Your daughter? Kamome was her daughter? I felt the tension leave my body. I'd done it. I found a family of a disappearing girl. She was real. Kamome was real. The simple fact brought me immense relief. This woman was her mother. One look at her face is all the proof I needed.
失礼ですが、あなたはカモメとはどういうご関係なんですか?
Hey! Are they really gonna pull a Fuko on us? No, let's keep reading the story. We still don't know what happened to Kamome. We're friends.
そうですか。カモメにそんな友達が。
Is Kamome here?
今はいません。
At the moment. Where is she?
それは。
She stared at me for a moment, hesitating.
今、外国です。
Overseas? Like out of the country?
フィンランドです。
Finland! What the heck? Where the heck is Finland? I'm with him. I don't even know where Finland's at. I knew it was in Europe, at least, somewhere far, far away. Since when?
2年前からですね。
2 years? 2 whole years? My thoughts raced. Kamome wasn't here. She wasn't even in the country. But then, who had I spent the summer with?
あの子にあなたみたいな友達がいたのですね。カモメにここのことを聞いていたんですか？それでわざわざこれを届けに来てくれたんですね。
Right.
このスーツケースをどこで見つけてくださったんですか？
In the cave.
洞窟？
It leads out towards the little bay. I was trying to make my way back to it. And on the way I found that suitcase.
そうですか。あそこに行かれたんですか？
Yeah.
でも一体どうやってあんなところに？
A while back, Kamome gave me a map. We promised each other that we would go together, and this summer I finally went. I was lying. Whatever would make sense to Sagi-san's story worked for me. I considered telling her the truth, but not even I knew what that was. What was I going to say? That I met Kamome and found a boat while she was supposed to be across the world? Nothing made sense. We eventually lost track of each other. I lost her and I couldn't find her anywhere. So I came here looking for answers.
ここのこともカモメに聞いたんですか？
Naturally. In a book, The Adventures of Cat-Paw Whiskeneers, Kamome lived on a little island. That was the only clue I had. And then I heard someone might live here, so, well, I thought I might find Kamome.
高原さんはこの本を読んだことがあるんですね。
Yeah, when I was a kid. I completely forgotten about it until recently. I was a huge fan. Sagi-san suddenly chuckled.
ありがとうございます。
For what?
その小説を書いたのは私です。
Huh?
私はその本の作者なんです。
Then I'm not sure what to make of that.
思うに、あなたはあの子から何も知らされてないんですね。カモメから地図だけ預かって船を見つけて、さぞ混乱していることでしょう。
A little. Sagi-san was more spot on than she realized.
入り江にあるあの船は、もちろん何百年も前からある海賊船なんかじゃありません。あれは私とあの子、カモメが用意したものです。
What?
あなたの知るカモメがあなたにどこまで話したのかは知りません。でもとにかくあなたはカモメに会うためにこんなところまで来てくれた。だったらお話ししてもいいような気がします。母として。あの子の話を聞いていただけますか？
Yes. Please tell me.
10年前、あの子の父親は大学で動植物の生態を研究する学者でした。ある会社からフィールドワークの依頼を受けてこの島に滞在したことがありました。
Press auto.
あの子は小さな頃から体が弱くてあまり外を出歩けなかったし、友達もいませんでした。
ほとんどの時間本を読んで過ごしていたんです。本当はいろんなところを探検したかったのに出歩くことはできません。よくこのスーツケースの上に座って本を読んでいました。これは元は父親のスーツケースでしたが、世界中を旅したスーツケースだから、それでカモメも気に入ったのでしょう。私は小説家で、ある時あの子をモデルにした女の子を主人公にして小説を書いたんです。
The Adventures of Cat Paw Whiskers。
ええ、きっかけはカモメの言葉だったんですよ。この島には海賊船があって財宝が眠ってるんだよって自作の宝の地図を書いて見せてくれたんです。もちろんあくまで読書好きな子供の空想ですが、聞いているうちに私も楽しくなって本を書くことにしたんです。あの本はこの島の滞在中に書いたから、実際出てくる場所もそのままモデルがあるんですよ。あの本が発刊されて翌年の夏のことです。ある日あの子が言い出したんです。船が欲しいって。とんでもない頼み事だったわ。あの子はね、自分でいろいろ調べて古い帆船を譲ってくれるところを見つけたらしいんです。もうボロボロということで処分に困っていたらしくて、ただで譲ってくれるという話で、それを島の入り江まで運んでもらったんです。
Same bay I went to。
ええ、あれは昔カモメが私に頼んで取り寄せたものです。あの船をあの子は海賊船にしたかったんです。
The old boat into a pirate ship。
あの子の中には壮大な計画があったんです。それは小説家の私でもかなわないくらい途方もない物語です。
ママ、あの本の冒険を再現するんだよ。本の中じゃなくて実際に地図を持って海賊船を見つけるの。すごいと思わない？ママ。
役所の許可を取って入り江を使わせていただくことになりました。そして今年全てが完成して、あの子が元気ならみんなを招待する予定だったんです。
You were inviting people？
ええ、本当なら今年にはあの海賊船が出来上がって、そうしたらあの子にとっては小説の夢物語が本当のことになる。でも最後まで作れませんでした。毎年夏になると私たちはこの島に来ていました。あの子も暑い時期だけは体調が良かったんです。少しずつ準備を進めていました。でも2年前を最後にそれも叶わなくなって、先ほどカモメは外国にいると言いましたが、そこの病院にもう2年間入院しています。
Hospital wise。
もともと体が弱い子でした。あの子の父も早くに亡くなりました。同じ病気。父親は大人になってから発症しましたが、同じ遺伝性の病気をあの子も患っていることが分かったんです。その時あの子はまだ5歳でした。良くなっては悪くなるの繰り返しで、根治させる術もないままあの子は不自由な時間を過ごしていました。それでも成長するに従ってだいぶマシになって、もう少ししたら学校にも通えるかもしれないという時に症状が急転しました。ちょうど準備をしている最中にあの船の甲板で倒れてしまったんです。急いで病院に運ばれて、それ以来あの子は自分の足では歩くこともできません。有名な主治医のいる病院に今はいます。
Oh,
一
dude.
日のうちたまに目が覚めるだけ。
I fucking do it. They put a Fuko on us. At first, I thought she was already dead. She's like a ghost because she turned into a butterfly. But then I thought, wait a minute. She's a imagination. And then I don't know. At some point, I said, I hope they don't pull a Fuko on us. They pull a Fuko on us, Brody.
ほとんどを夢の中で過ごしています。 高原さんはこのスーツケースを洞窟で見つけたんですね。
Yeah.
不思議、どうしてそんなところに。このスーツケースは私が持ってきたんです。ただこの島に着いた時になくしてしまいました。
You lost it?
この島に着いた時、不思議な体験をしました。不思議な色の蝶。
Oh. So
それがスーツケースに集まっていました。
necessarily that doesn't mean you're dead if you turn to a what's it called? Iridescent butterfly, something like that.
その後、一瞬目を離しているうちにスーツケースが消えていたんです。大方、暑さにやられてぼーっとしていて盗まれたんだと思いました。でも見つかったのが洞窟の中だなんて。
No, I shouldn't. You know. She did say her husband passed away. My condolences. But I mean,
一体何が。あの蝶は以前にも見たことがありました。カモメが倒れた時、
Heidi, this your chance.
倒れたカモメの近くを飛んでいるのを見ました。不思議な色の蝶。
What?
今思えばあの蝶とカモメには何か関係があったのでしょうか。
She lapsed into thought. My confusion didn't stop there though. Saki-san,
はい、
why did you come to this island? According to her, Kamome was far away from here. So, what was Saki-san doing here alone?
カモメに頼まれたんです。
What?
私一人だけでもこの島に行ってほしいって。その時はスーツケースを持って行ってほしいって。いつもカモメが持ち歩いていたものですから、これだけでもと思ったのでしょう。それにこの島の方々には協力してもらっていましたので、そちらへの挨拶が必要でした。
Help?
あの入り江にある船の件もそうですが、島のあちこちに鍵を隠させてもらっていました。
Oh. They've been here for 10 years.
いいえ、2年前です。いくつかはお願いして隠させてもらったん
Well,
で
it's
す。
only been 2 years. So that's what it was. You mentioned inviting people earlier. Who do you mean by everyone? I mean, you were just recreating a story, right?
それは
He hesitated for a second.
高原さんはあの船にたどり着いたんですね。
I did.
でしたら船長室を覗いてみましたか？
The captain's cabin? No, I think the door was locked.
そっか、そうでしたね。この鍵を持って行ってください。これで開くはずです。
Well, you just tell me what's inside. What do I gotta go back there? You sure?
え、あそこにはあの子の一番の宝物が隠されています。
Treasure?
あなたにならカモメも見てほしいと思っているはずです。だから行ってみてください。
I left the islet. The more I learned about Kamome, the deeper the mystery became. She was nowhere near here, in another country in fact. She spent most of her time asleep in a hospital. Then what about the girl I met? Where was she? Getting to the cove was trivial by jet ski. So trivial that it made our journey through the forest and caves seem so real. This was where she disappeared, Kamome. It didn't matter to me who she was anymore. She could have been some spirit of the book for all I cared. It didn't matter. She was real. If I hadn't come here alone, she'd been with me the whole way. I could almost still feel her hand on mine. I boarded the boat and tried the captain's cabin. The door was locked. I inserted a Saki-san key and turned it. What could have been waiting for me inside? It could have been actual treasure, but I still felt excited, if only for a moment. The door opened. The helm of the boat was situated in the middle of the room. Switches and controls covered the panels. But there was something else too. What is this? Next to the pilot seat sat a bundle of what looked like letters. It was thick and tied up in string. There had been at least 100, probably more. Every one of them had been opened and presumably read. Who could they all have been addressed to? And why they were there in a place like this? After a moment hesitation, I pulled one out. I really liked it. I couldn't put it down. I never forget those moments. I wish I had friends like that. Where's this at? Can't wait for the sequel. The book! Those are feedback. They're fan letters. They were crude. The thoughts and feelings of children crudely scribbled onto paper. There were a few sentences, some covered the entire page. I knew immediately what they were for. They were letters from the readers of The Adventures of Captain of the Cat-Paw Whiskeneers. Readers from all over the world. That was Kamome treasure. They were addressed to Sagi-san and expressed their opinion on her work, but the vast majority were addressed to someone else, to the protagonist, Kamome. As if she were real. Their love wasn't for a story. It was for a girl named Kamome. There were so many. There were countless. I get it now. I finally understood what Sagi-san had meant by everyone. Kamome's plan was for all the children who sent her letters. This, all of this, had been for them. A surprise from her and her mother. My eyes were suddenly drawn to a single blue letter in the pile. But why? What about it stole my attention? It seemed familiar. I put it out, compelled by something. There were no way. I stared at the sender name in shock. Takahara Hairi. It wasn't a common name. There was a mistake in it. I sent this very letter years ago. Memories began to resurface my mind. I remember reading the story, and then I wrote a fan letter. It was the first of mine. I'd never done something like that before. I remember how excited and sincere I'd been. But not what I ended up writing. I looked at the messy handwriting and cringed fondly. It was me, alright. I think that Kamome-chan is amazing, because she is very a brave girl. There is nobody like her in my class. I would definitely be her friend, even though she is a girl. It all came flooding back. After I sent it, I got a reply. Was it from Sagi-san though, or someone else? What had it said again? It wasn't coming to me, but I knew I wouldn't have thrown it out. It was more than likely somewhere in my room. I scratched my head. I really didn't want to do this. No other options though. He's going to Finland. I stood in front of the telephone, taking many, many deep breaths. The more I told myself to just get over it and make the call, the harder it got to dial the number. Let's do this. Harder my resolve, I pushed the buttons. Hello? It's me. Yeah. Nothing, really. Oh, it's his parents. No. I'm fine. Yeah. I'll come back before the end of summer break. Right. Okay. Hey, so I have a favor to ask. You know the thing in my closet? Yeah, the cardboard box with all my stuff from elementary school. Can you just send it to me as it is? Don't look inside, okay? Express delivery, please. Tomorrow? Got it. Thanks. Phew. I placed the receiver back on the rest. I felt exhausted. Yeah. Eavesdropping isn't good manners, Umi-chan. No, not yet. She seemed ambivalent, right on the line between relief and upset. I'd say she looked more worried than anything. I was just asking my parents to send me something. It's for me. My stuff arrived on the afternoon on the next day. It was exactly as I left it, aside from the packing tape. It smelled like home. I got right to it and started digging around. Should be right around The Adventures of Cat-Paw Whiskeneers. There it is. It was the exact same book as the one I found in Kamome's suitcase. I first read it in the library, then pestered my parents into buying me a copy. Then I find something else too. A letter. I looked at the center of the envelope. There she was. Kushima Kamome. Oh, I knew it. I actually got in reply to that cheeky letter of mine. This island was where we first met, but we've been connected for much longer than that.
お手紙ありがとうございます。最後にカモメたちはいつか再会して再び海賊船を見つける約束をします。今度はもっとすごい冒険に出ようって。もしあなたが思い出を大切に覚えていてくれるなら、10年後とっておきの冒険に招待します。
10 years from now.
その時会えたら嬉しいです。
How did she know he was gonna be there in the island 10 years? Every single letter from that ship. Damn, dude. They should have made Kamome the main character of the story. Right? Damn, dude. This row is really good. Damn, they should have made her the main heroine. No offense to Shiroha. Kamome. Every single letter from that ship. Every single letter had probably gotten the same kind of response. The same kind of invitation for an incredible adventure. And Kamome, she tried her absolute hardest to make that happen. Oh, she was just writing to just the fans. Her and her mother did everything they could to make that day come. They hid the keys, prepared the cave, even found a boat. All to turn a story into reality. All for a bunch of strangers, friends Kamome had never even met. Who knows? Maybe they end up getting along like old pals. Kamome certainly thought so. After that, they shared so much in common. It was all right there in the pages of the book they all loved. But her plan never came to fruition, and Kamome couldn't come to the island anymore. And she's crying. Now she was sleeping her time away in a hospital far away from here. But still, Kamome appeared this summer to fulfill her promise no matter what. Together with the suitcase that Saki-san had brought with her, she crossed the sea, and then there she was. She was with me. She adventured with me. She made the story real, even if I was the only friend she could share with. There was the Kamome I knew. And then she vanished, her dream fulfilled. The next day, I came back to the bay. I sat quietly at the boat. The failed pirate ship. What was going to happen to it? They couldn't just leave it here. Eventually, it had to be taken apart. I stood there for a while, just looking up at it. If only things had gone like Kamome thought they would. If only they find an honest-to-God pirate past that cave. If Kamome plan had worked out in the end, I'm sure we would have been deeply moved. I admired her. Her mind was incredible. Time just wasn't on her side. All her progress had came to a grinding halt right at the finish line. Just one more summer was all they needed. Just one more summer. Got it. I didn't know what Kamome was or if we ever meet again. But I was still here, and there was one thing I could do. He's gonna finish the pirate ship for her with the homies. I made a phone call. I got a number from her just in case.
Hi, Kushima desu.
We got her number? Hell yeah. Hi, this is Takahara. I'm the one who visited the island the other day.
Ah, Takahara-san.
So I did what you asked.
船は調べていただきましたか?
Yeah, I found him. I found Kamome's treasure.
そうですか。あの本が発売してしばらくして、 本を読んだ読者の子からたくさん手紙が届いたんです。もちろん手紙の全部があの子に向けて書かれたものというわけではありません。純粋に本に対する感想であったり、作者である私に向けたものもありました。ただ中にはカモメに対する手紙もあったんです。主人公のカモメへの手紙ですね。カモメはそれがたまらなく嬉しかったみたいで、まるで自分自身に送られてきた手紙のように思ったんでしょう。友達と遊べなかったあの子が持てた初めての外の人たちとの交流でした。何度も何度も手紙を読んでいました。
Damn, dude. I know that feeling. Cause in elementary school, we did a thing. I think it's called pen pals. I don't know if they still do that in elementary school, but I really liked it. I get to talk to, it was French girls. They were practicing English. I didn't practice French. I spoke English. And we wrote letters to each other. And I would always look forward to reading her letter. I'm not gonna lie. I never met her, but reading her letters was really fun. Because in our class project for Pen Pals, we just talk about our lives and who we are. And it was fun knowing, someone around the other world, same grade. I think it was the same grade. I don't remember. She looked taller than me. I was really, really short. I guess I'm still short, but I guess bottom line is, yeah, letters they're really fun to read.
それであの子はカモメ宛ての手紙に返事を書きました。
You mean the invitation to adventure in 10 years?
どうしてそれを？
I sent a letter myself as a kid, and I got a reply.
そうですか。高原さんも手紙を。
Yeah.
よかったです。あの子の夢でした。あそこに海賊船を作る。そしてみんなを招待するって。その夢はもう叶わないと思っていました。だけどあなたが来てくれた。私とカモメが準備した場所まであなたがたどり着いてくれました。
Not to ruin your moment. It was kind of, not even finished.
私たちも報われます。
I want to know something. Why did you have to wait 10 years? You should have just called us all over right then and there. When she got the letters, why didn't she tell us where she was to come right away? We could have done it. I would have.
それは私も提案したんです。だけどカモメが嫌がったので。
She did?
自分は小説のカモメのモデルだから、もし自分を見たらがっかりするんじゃないかって。
Dang. She wanted to get stronger.
まともに歩くこともできず、いつもベッドに辛そうに寝ている自分を見られたくなかったのでしょう。そんな自分がカモメのモデルだなんて知られたくなかったのでしょう。いつか元気になってカモメみたいにみんなを引っ張れるような女の子になって、その時に会えたらいいなってあの子は思っていました。きっと怖かったんだと思います。
You know what bothered me? That means the Taka in the story was just a generic dude. That means our character is a generic dude. That doesn't make sense. That's every main visual novel protagonist. Well, most of them.
直接人と会うのが。確かにあの頃のカモメは歩くこともままなりませんでしたし、私の前ではよく話す子でしたけど、ちょっとした交流会に誘っても堅くなに参加しようとしませんでした。内気な子だったんです。けど頑張ったんです。少しずつですが元気になって、普通の子と変わらないくらい動けるようになっていたんです。だけど2年前、 あの子は再び歩けなくなりまし
And
た。
the iridescent shade stole everything from her.
あんなに大事にしていた手紙をあの子は外国に持っていきませんでした。手元に置いておく方がもう辛かったのかもしれませんね。
I have something to ask. I told Sagi-san my idea.
それは
Is that a no?
いえ、わかりました。高原さん、あの船はあなたにお譲りします。
What? No, I can't.
あなたのやりたいと思ったこと、それを形にするために少しばかりでも協力させていただきたいのです。子供の夢を叶える手助けをするのが大人の喜びです。
Thank you so much. Well, then I think I might take you up on that. If that's okay.
どうぞ。
Gather up the homies. Hey, there's somewhere I want to take you all.
まさかまた洞窟か？
No, someone passed that.
何があるの？
You'll find out when you see it. The boats be faster than hiking through a cave. Mind giving us a lift?
構わないが、ハイリがいきなりアクティブになってきたな。
Active.
ちょっとドキドキしてきた。
What the hell?
島に来た当初はあんなに引っ込み思案だったハイリがな。
Stretch out my arms. My arm's starting to hurt. Have I?
俺の特訓を目の当たりにして腰が引けていたのを覚えているぞ。
It was a little worse than Tippet.
どういう意味だ？
とにかく高原も島に慣れたということか。
全裸になる日も近いな。
What the fuck? As if.
ここは七ヶ浜じゃないか。
Chichikahama. You know about this place?
漁師の間じゃそこそこ知れてるよ。ここ実はプライベートビーチなんだぞ。要するに私有地だな。だから勝手に入るのはダメなんだが。
I have permission.
許可って。
So the reason I wanted you all to come here is because there's a boat that I want you to help me work on. Dad.
あれは
確かにボロボロだね。
整備と言われても誰の船なんだこれ。
Mine actually.
お前って金持ち？
Well, to be precise, I was told I could do whatever I wanted to over the summer by the actual owner. So it's like technically mine for now.
誰なんだ所有者とは？
Someone very rich.
そうでしょうけど。高原、お前一体何者だ？
Why she's pointed the gun at him.
企業の回し者か？一体この島で何をしようと。
Stop pointing that at me. No conspiracy theories, please. Back to the boat. I stopped myself just before bringing up Kamome. Talking about her might only confuse them. I want to turn it into a pirate ship.
何？こいつを海賊船に仕立て上げてどうしたいんだ？
I mean, wouldn't it be cool? Doesn't it get you all excited?
すごいけどな。
There's also someone I wanted to show it to.
見せたい人？
Kamome,
誰？
you must have seen her with me, right?
誰だ？
I'm sure you met her. She's the one with the suitcase.
そんなやついたか？
知らないな。
Never mind then.
誰かしら？
女だな。
あらら。
振られたのかもしれない。
それで戻ってきてもらうためにこんな大掛かりなことを？
情熱的だ。
No! You weren't wrong per se, but not exactly right either. Hold on. Was I dumped? Psh, no way. Yeah, no way.
何を赤くなってもじもじしてるんだ。
いいんじゃない？そういうのも。
ああ、女のために船一つ作ろうって言うんだからすごい情熱だぜ。見習いたいものだ。
少子化社会にはそういう心意気が必要だ。
Oh, yeah, no, Vicky. She's right. Can we not turn this into something dirty? I wasn't aiming for anything like that.
誰もエロいことなんて言っていない。頬をあからめるな。 少子化は真面目に考えるべき問題であって。
She's right.
あ、分かった分かった。子供に少子化言われても困る。
子供じゃない。まあ面白そうかな。
やってみるか。
Alright, pirate ship, here we come. All of a sudden, the bay was alive with energy. Kamome project became ours, and we toiled away at it from dawn to dusk. I compared our work to the blueprint and realized we hadn't put up the sail yet. The rest of the boat are coming together, outside and in. Getting all the way up to the mast was going to be dangerous. After confirming that the mast hadn't rotted and tying safety lines through ourselves, we carefully climbed up. Any issues with devices that held the ropes we immediately fixed. Fortunately, there was no shortage of boat experts around the island. Anything Ryoshi didn't know, someone else did, and our progress went. Kamome's suitcase sat on the boat the entire time. Every now and then, I got a strange feeling that she was perched on top, watching us.
なあ、いろいろとつてを頼ってかき集めたんだが、慎重しないといけない部分がいくつかあるな。特に帆を張るためのロープや留め具には古いものを使うわけにはいかないしな。
How much is it looking like?
ざっと見積もりしたが、こんなものか。
That was a lot of zeros. Gotta have a chat to see what I can do. Damn, dude, she's really rich.
相談って？
A sponsor.
高原、お前、やはり。
Dude, why is her belly button showing? Nice navel. Crying out loud, I'm not a corporate spy.
おーい、俺はもう帰るぞ。あんまり根を詰めるなよ。
Yeah, I know. I'm just running out of time.
そうか。休みが終わったらお前は帰るんだよな。
Yeah.
もし今年できなくても、来年来ればいい。こいつはちゃんとここに置いておくぞ。
Right. But I knew that wasn't going to cut it. I was panicked, desperate for some reason. Summer wasn't going to last forever. I needed to hurry. Huh? I was working alone, and before I knew it, the sky had turned dark. I was so focused, I only just noticed. Crap. So much for being home before dark. Sorry, Ryoji. He told me in no uncertain terms that it wasn't to be on the water at night. Not that I was brave enough to try. There was no way I'd be able to make it through the mountains and the cave. Long story short, I was stuck. Spending the night here wouldn't be so bad. There was a sofa in the captain's cabin that was just barely long enough for me to lie down on. Plus, I had plenty of drinks and snacks. After having a quick bite to eat, I went straight for the couch. The waves splashed in the background, lulling me into a deep sleep. Suddenly, I woke up. There were noises coming from the deck. Or was it just the waves? No. Something was moving. It was clattering. Oh, it's Kamome! Like the dragging of something heavy. I heard that sound before. I climbed out of the cabin and onto the deck. The night breeze chilled my face as it blew past. Someone was standing there. Oh, dude! Kamome. There she was, right by the suitcase I left outside.
Yeah. 起きた？
I think so. If I'm not dreaming, that is.
夢の中かもしれないね。
But I don't care what this is. Kamome, where did you go?
どこにも？ここで見ていたよ。ずっと見てた。
You have? The entire time, huh? There were so many things I needed to say. The keys and the boat. It was all your idea, right from the beginning?
ごめん。でも、私も忘れてたんだよ。
Forgotten what?
全部忘れてた。私は外国の病院で一日のほとんどを寝て過ごしてたの。だんだん 自分が眠っているのか起きているのかわからなくなっていって、そうしたら何が本当で嘘なのかも曖昧になっていくの。ママ、またみんなに会いたいな。元気かな。私のこと覚えててくれてるかな。
カモメ、
元気になって会うの。海賊船はまだあそこにあるのかな。隠した鍵は残ってるかな。10年も前のことだもんね。でもね、残ってるような気がするの。地図も鍵も海賊船もちゃんと残っていて、私たちはまた冒険をして再会するの。不思議だね。ベッドの中で小説の中にしかなかった思い出はいつの間にか本物の思い出になって、この夏私は島にやってきた。お母さんが持ってきたあのスーツケースと一緒に夢を追いかけて、私自身が夢の一部になって、本当に小説のヒロインのカモメになっていた。昔の冒険も本当にあったことだと思ってた。10年前の友達と会うためにこの島にやってきたつもりだったの。昔この島に残した地図を見つけて、それで秘密の場所に再び向かうんだって。そうしたらみんなに会えるんじゃないかって思ってた。でもハイリとこの船に着いた時思い出したよ。全部小説のお話だった。私はそれを本当の思い出と思い込んでいた。おかしいよね、自分で用意しておいて。2年前まで私がお母さんとここで準備していたこと。本当の私はここにはいないってこと、遠くの土地で眠っていること、全部思い出した時、あなたの前から消えたんだ。今の私は私が見ている夢みたいなものなんだね。私がいつも見ていた夢、友達とのひと夏の冒険。あの冒険を本当の思い出にしたかった。小説の中の思い出じゃなくて、友達がいていつか再会して楽しいことをいっぱいするの。そんな夢を叶えるためにこの夏私は来たのかもしれない。それでハイリ、あなたのおかげで夢が叶ったんだよ。ハイリと一緒にこの島を冒険するのが楽しくて満足して、私はあの時ハイリの前から消えたんだと思う。
Then I guess I can say I don't regret getting strung along. So what, you couldn't sit still watching us fix up your boat? You could use as many hands as we can get if you want to help. This was your idea after all.
違うの。私はもう十分に満足したからいいんだ。今こうしてあなたの前にいるのは最後にどうしても
Damn.
会いたかったから。
One last time.
あのね、お別れに来たんだ。行かないといけないんだ。
Go where? You're in another country, right? You need to go back.
ううん、
She slowly shook her head. Kamome looked up at the sky. Countless stars sprinkled overhead, far beyond our reach.
もっと遠いところ。
Farther, you can't mean.
ハイリ、ありがとう。私の夢を叶えてくれて、それに友達になってくれて。
Kamome leaned towards me. Oh! Her face inched closer. Put my hands to her cheeks. Her warmth drove away the chill of the night, right down to my heart. And then our lips meet.
わかった。
Get what?
無ゴッホの意味。
You do?
ハイリーが何度も言おうとしたこと。むっちゃ可愛いって言いかけて咳き込んでいたんだね。
Yes. She couldn't have been more wrong, yet so right. When I opened my eyes, there was nobody there. Only a gentle crashing of waves. Maybe it really was a dream. No, I refused to care. This entire summer could be a dream, or an illusion, or whatever. It didn't matter. I knew that I had to believe in. I was going to make the most time I had left. This was my summer vacation. I gazed out into the pitch black ocean. I gazed right into dawn. Alright. I think this is a good stopping point. I'm really tired. And my body hurts. And my voice starting to hurt too, so let's call it GG's for now. I want to finish it, but like I said, my body hurt. Dude. She's best girl, dude. The only thing left is, how is it going to end? I think she's going to be my favorite girl, no matter what. Right. I don't see anyone else being better than Kamome for me. But we'll see, I guess. Yeah, 2 more CGs left. Then we came so far. Kamome. Damn, dude. I hope we get a happy ending. I hope we do. Next time for sure, we'll finish the Kamome row. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Please give her a happy ending, dude. Don't let her fade to the light, dude. Come on, man. I just want to see her smile at the ending. Hope so. Hope so. Now, until next time, GG's.